Hi everyone, hope everyone's well. I'm walking back home from the gym. It's about a 10-mile walk and I haven't got my headphones on, so I've been thinking a lot, and I was thinking about good and bad influences on our children. Now, more specifically, I was thinking of whether I was a bad influence or a good influence, or maybe a mixture of the two, because I've done a few podcasts. I've done Sean Atwood and Dodge Woodall and Brian Cockrell's and Sean Burns' podcast, and I haven't done one for about 8 or 9 months, but I've been asked to do more. But I'm not saying I won't ever do one again, but when I talk about the stuff I've done in the past, I've only really, it's the tip of the iceberg really, what I've spoken about, because I only ever did a very small bit of prison, literally months, nothing at all, which I'm proud of, and I'm glad I didn't. And I was never caught for the serious offences that I actually, the most serious things that I did, because I was involved in crime for years and years and years. Once again, nothing I'm proud of, but nothing I'm ashamed of either at the same time. But I was thinking of the influence we have on our kids, because when I got to the age of about early 30s, when I realised Matty Jr., my eldest son, was getting to the age where he would realise that I wasn't doing a normal 9 to 5, I decided to pack it all in and retire from it all and just knock it all on the head. And it was a lot of money that I was turning down, but I didn't want him to be influenced by me in a negative way. And that didn't actually work out, as it happens, because when he got to teenage years and he was going out with his mates' parents, a lot of the time, a lot of his mates' parents knew me from years ago, and they would talk to him about some of the things I'd done, some of the fights, some of the illegal stuff that I got up to, and like, he would hear all the stories. Same as my other 2 sons. I've got a 22-year-old, 18-year-old and 14-year-old, all boys, Matty, Max and Mason. And I know most of their friends' parents, and they always say the same thing. I remember when your dad did this, or I remember when your dad did this. I saw him through the door, he came around, and whatever happened. So even though I tried to be a good influence by stopping it all when he was about 7, he still heard, and they still heard from other people, the stuff I got up to. So it was a futile really, but I did try. Now they're older, I talk to them about all the things I did anyway, and I try and persuade them not to go down that route, because I've been there. I was lucky to come through it without doing any prison. I never got arrested for everything I did in terms of work. I was very lucky in that respect, and that's another reason I packed it in. The 2 reasons I packed it in were, my boy was getting old enough to see what I was doing. I didn't want to be a bad influence, and I thought my luck's going to run out at some point, because I've had a good run at this, and I know your luck will always run out. So I packed it in, and I never looked back, and I'm pleased with that. It's probably about, what, 15 years now since I stopped everything. Even debt collecting jobs, stopped them a few years back, because even they were getting hard work. And when I talk about debt collecting jobs, these are not me going around collecting council tax money. These are from people that have had money stolen or been robbed, or someone's nicked their cars or whatever, and I go and collect their stuff back. So we're not going around families' houses and taking their TVs. These are criminals that we're going around to collect the money from when we were doing it. And even that I've phased out, because the police were called on me. So even collecting from criminals, I've had the police being called. But yeah, I was thinking about the influence, and I've always tried to say get into sports, boxing to my kids, because they all love boxing, all 3 of them. And I've tried to steer them away from that sort of stuff, even street fighting. Matty's had a few street fights, so has Max, but I try and say to him, one punch and you can kill someone. They bang their head on the floor, and then you're done. Then you're going to get done for manslaughter, or even attempted murder, or anything it could be. So I warn them against even street fighting. Definitely no to carrying weapons, and I'm obviously dead against knives and knife crime. Both my kids have had knives pulled on them and stuff like that, and I've told them to keep away from knives. But yeah, being a good or bad influence is not so straightforward, and I always try now to be a positive influence. Both my 2 oldest go to work hard and all that, and that's another good thing. Yeah, I do sometimes worry that my influence in terms of the fighting, and they hear about the street fight, I don't want them to try and copy that, or try and be a street fighter and whatever. I'd rather they did it in a boxing ring. and did it properly, you know, maybe even got money out of it as a professional. But start off in the amateurs. Matty's had about 5 amateur fights already. He won 4, but he's packed it in probably 5 years ago. But he was a good boxer. But yeah, so regarding like podcasts, I've been asked to do a few podcasts lately. Lad Bible was one that I was asked to do, and I didn't get back to him yet, and that's one of the big ones. So I mean, I'm not saying I'll never do another podcast, but I just find it more difficult talking about the stuff because I wasn't arrested for most of the stuff that I did, and it's difficult. But like I was going to say, Ben from the Inquirer, he called me up the other day and said he was doing a mini documentary on me, which I was quite well honoured really, because I'm normally the one doing the documentaries on other people. So I personally don't think I've had that much of an interest in life compared to other people to have a little documentary done about me. But that's my personal opinion. But Ben said no, it's interesting. He finds it interesting because he knows a few of the other things I've done, which I haven't spoke about on podcasts and things like that, which, like I said, I'm not particularly proud of, but I'm not particularly ashamed of it all. It's part of my life, and it's what I knew when I was younger. And you live and learn from all the mistakes you make. You learn from everything you do. Yeah, you learn, you live and learn. And then all you can try and do is pass down the knowledge to your kids and to people who you love. So, like I've said, yeah. But anyway, let me know how you all do it. I thought I'd do a little personal one because I haven't done one for a while. And I'm going to do a live soon as well, probably in the next couple of days. Do a little live. Do a live, catch up with everybody, all the new subscribers, and catch up with all the old subscribers, have a little chat on there. Because I haven't done one for quite a few months. So yeah, there'll be a live coming up sometime this week. But I'll let you know in advance. But yeah, let me know how you do anyway. And I'll catch up with you all soon. All the best.